What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to another video on the channel. And in today's video, I am going to be giving you guys my top 10 power rankings going into NFL week number 1. So if you guys are new to the channel or these NFL videos, be sure to like and subscribe, as it does help out a lot. And yeah, let's just jump right into this. So obviously, this is just going to be my top 10 list. You can have your own top 10 list, and it's okay to disagree. Just leave a comment saying why you disagree. And yeah, just leave it at that. No need to call me an idiot or something or anything like that. And yeah, let's just jump right into this. So coming in at number 10, I have the Miami Dolphins. So I think that the Miami Dolphins are going to be really good, considering that they tied with the Colts, but they lost a tiebreaker. And they were the 8th seed at 10-6 last season, and they didn't get in because I don't even know how they didn't get in, but like the AFC was stacked that year. But yeah, so the Dolphins were a really good team last season. Now they did have Ryan Fitzpatrick, but honestly, I feel like that Tua is going to take some more steps forward, so that he should at least be better than Ryan Fitzpatrick was last year, or himself last year. So the quarterback play should immediately be better. They only added weapons around the Dolphins, which is, very good for Tua. And then they even upgraded a little bit on the offensive line. Now, defensively, that defense is still like a top 3 defense in the league probably. So yeah, their defense is still very, very good. And considering that they had below average quarterback play, I'd say, not a lot of weapons and a really good defense, and they almost made the playoffs at 10-6. Yeah, so now that they're going to get better quarterback play, more weapons, and actually good weapons, and still the same defense, I think that they will make the playoffs. I predicted them to be the 6th seed, I think. I predicted them to be the 7th seed last season. Obviously, I missed the mark just by a little bit. They were the 8th seed and didn't make it in. But I think that they will take the next step and go get into the playoffs, and they're at number 10 for me. Number 9 is going to be the Steelers. Now, I've seen a lot of people down on the Steelers. I don't know why. I know the offensive line is still bad, but defense is where it's at. Because if you look at the teams that went into the playoffs last year, the Rams didn't have really good quarterback play, but had a good defense, or really an amazing defense. The Colts had an amazing defense. The Steelers didn't even really have that good offensive play last season. They just had their defense. The Seahawks offense played terrible during the past stretch, but they had their defense and got into the playoffs. So you see that defense does matter, and the Bucks beat the Chiefs in the Super Bowl because of their defense. So defense does matter, and the Steelers still have maybe the best defense in the NFL. Probably the best pass rush in the NFL still, with the addition of Melvin Ingram. And Melvin Ingram's I'd even say he's an upgrade over Bud Dupree. So yeah, there's that. Now, their offensive line, as I said earlier, is a problem. Also, the quarterback play, Big Ben's just a bit uncertain for me. You don't know. He'll probably start hot and end slow. But this is for week 1, which is, if he starts hot, it's week 1. So yeah, if he starts hot, he'll play good in week 1. And then they still have very good weapons, and they drafted a running back who should be better than the James Conner last season. So I'm going to put them at number 9. Number 8, I'm going to have the Seahawks. Now, the Seahawks were a tale of 2 halves of the season last season. So at the start, Russ was cooking. Everything was going great on offense. Their defense sucked, but they were still winning games. And then during the end, their defense stepped it up, and their offense just took a hit for some reason. I don't know why, but yeah. I think that they're the defense and offense should equalize. It shouldn't be 2 polar opposites on the 2 halves. I think that they should just not reach the highs that they reached last season, but also not reach the lows that they reached last season. They're basically the same team. They upgraded at some spots on the roster. They also lost a few players. They got Gerald Everett, but they lost Shaquille Griffin. But they're practically basically, I wouldn't say that they increased or decreased, or improved or just got worse. So I'd say that they're just basically the same as last season, and they were a pretty good football team last season. I just think that the 2 halves of the ball will have more consistency. Okay, number 7. This is a huge leap, but I think that it will happen. I have the Cardinals. So the Cardinals have improved every season with Kyler Murray. They were like one game away from the playoffs, and they were kind of like the Dolphins for me, where like I predicted them to be the 7th seed, and then they came out to be the 8th seed. Like that was just really bad for me last season, because I think like I probably would have got like a majority of them right, except for I missed on my 2 7th seeds because they were both 8 seeds. But I do think that the Cardinals got like way better in the off season. So they got AJ Green. Because Larry Fitzgerald, I think he's already retired or he might retire. He's at least contemplating retirement. So you got AJ Green to fill his void. You got JJ Watt. You got Rodney Hudson on the offensive line to help that out, so Kyler Murray doesn't have to run for his life all the time. And yeah, I mean, you're pairing up JJ Watt with Chandler Jones. Like that pass rush is gonna be good. So yeah, now they also got Malcolm Butler, but I think Malcolm Butler's like either been released or retired. I'm not too sure what went on there. But like still, this team is vastly improved from last season, and if Kyler Murray didn't get injured in the final game last season, they would have been in the playoffs. So yeah, they're coming in at number 7 for me. Now number 6 is going to be the Packers. Now some people might say that I have the Packers a little low, but I mean it's still number 6, man. And I'd say that they were probably like a top 4 team, last season. But they did lose some pieces, like they lost their backup running back, Jamal Williams. They lost their center, Corey Linsley, I believe that's his name. So, Aaron Rodgers is going to have less time to throw because, Dave Bakhtiari is still injured, or at least he's still battling injury. And Corey Linsley is obviously gone. So the offensive line should be worse. Also, the running game should be worse. The defense really wasn't even that good last season. So, hopefully it improves, I guess. But yeah, really, you just got a bunch of star players and not much else on this team. But I still think that they should be good just because of the star power that they bring on the team. Now, number 5, I'm going to have the Ravens. I considered moving them down because J.K. Dobbins is out for the year, but I'm gonna keep them at number 5. Now, the Ravens are an interesting team, so they are really good really good at running the football. Though obviously, J.K. Dobbins is injured. Though they did sign Le'Veon Bell, so maybe he'll help them out a little bit. Though they signed him to the practice squad, so I don't know if he'll even play. But yeah, I mean the Ravens' defense is still very good. They still got Lamar Jackson, who's dynamic in the passing and running game and can extend the play. And even though they lost J.K. Dobbins, their running game should still be at least decent and serviceable. And I mean, they're the Ravens, so they know how to run the ball. So I'm going to put them at number 5. Okay, number 4, I have the 49ers, and I might even be having them low. So the 49ers are I think that they're going to be their 2019 selves when they went to the Super Bowl and were one pass away from winning it. So the 49ers have a really good roster if everyone is healthy. Now, usually their quarterback, Jimmy G, gets injured at least half the seasons, but now you got Trey Lance backing him up, so at least you have a serviceable backup that, your team won't tank if Jimmy G gets injured like it did, last season and 2 seasons before that. And yeah, that defense is still very good. That pass rush is still very good. Nick Bosa is coming back. You still got Eric Armstead and Dee Ford. And then you also got Javon Kinlaw, the rookie. You still got Fred Warner on the defense, so that defense should be very good. The offense is going to be more run-centric, but that's okay because, having a game manager quarterback is not a bad thing at all. So, yeah, I'm going to have the 49ers at number 4. Number 3 is going to be the Bills. I think that they'll just keep on improving from last season. They were in the AFC Conference Championship game last season before they got blown out by the Chiefs. But, they were still a very good team last season, and I expect them to be a good team this season. Their defense really wasn't too good last season, but it should, theoretically, return to form of their 2019 defense. I think that Josh Allen will continue to improve. They only added weapons. I think they got Emmanuel Sanders or something. So yeah, they only added weapons on offense, and their offense is still going to be very explosive. And their defense, at least at very worst, is going to be good. So yeah, I have them at number 3. Number 2, I have the Bucs. So I know a lot of people are going to say, oh, they were the Super Bowl champs, all right? This is going into next season, and you were the Super Bowl champs because the Chiefs, both tackles, were dead. They were injured, okay? So now the Chiefs revamped their offensive line, so it won't be that easy. to beat the Chiefs. Now, I do still think that the Bucs are a very good team. Obviously, they brought everyone back, but that's the problem. They brought everyone back, so they didn't improve, while the Chiefs did improve, which is why I think that the Chiefs are at number 1 over the Bucs, just because the Bucs kind of stayed stagnant. I mean, you could even argue that they got worse because, of age and all that and natural regression. And the Chiefs got better. They fixed their one weak spot, offensive line, and vastly improved it. So I think that the Chiefs are at number 1. And some honorable mentions. The Colts, I think that they're going to win their division over the Titans because the Titans just don't have a defense. And, contrary to what most sports fans think, defense actually does matter. And the Colts actually do have a good defense. Their offense is still pretty good. So I think that they'll, win their division. They just didn't make it onto the top 10. The Rams, I think that the Rams will get a wild card spot, like number 6 or something. And I think that they will be a very good football team. I just need to wait to see how Matt Stafford plays. The Browns, I said before in one of my other videos that they should trade away OBJ. Now they didn't trade away OBJ, so we'll see if Baker Mayfield continues to force the ball to OBJ like he did, he did when OBJ was previously on the team before he got injured. Because if he does, that Browns team is not very good if Baker Mayfield's forcing the ball to OBJ every 2 throws. The Patriots, I think that the Patriots are vastly improved. Now, I don't think that their defense is top tier or anything like that, but it's definitely good. And then their offense, it's not top tier, it's also good. And I don't really trust Mac Jones as a rookie to lead this team anywhere promising, though they definitely could. I think it's between the Browns and the Patriots that squeak out the last wild card spot in the AFC. And then another honorable mention, I have the Giants, because I think that the Giants are actually really slept on, and I think that the Giants are going to win the NFC East. So the NFC East, I see a lot of Cowboys fans saying look at the rest of the division, we have to win. Yeah, I mean that's what Giants fans should be saying, though. That's what football team fans should be saying, though. Probably not the Eagles, because the Eagles suck. But yeah, but I think that the Giants are vastly improved, and I think that they should win the division. And they have a very good. They probably have the best, or maybe between Joe Judge and Ron Rivera as the best coaches in the NFC East, and they definitely have the best roster, all-around roster. Not just offense, but all around, and not just defense like the football team, not just offense like the Cowboys, but they have a good all-around roster. And then the only question is quarterback and offensive line. But I think that Daniel Jones should get better. And if he does improve, this will be an easy division win for the Giants. But anyways, that is going to do it for this video. Hope you guys did enjoy it. And if you guys did, be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Too easy!